from the city is still. I'm from the city is still.
Hola.
What's happening, man?
Hi, not much.
What do you think of the shirt?
I love it. Yeah, it's perfect. I saw the bargain effect go live, and I saw Pittsburgh like right across your chest. I was like, it's perfect. I got to pop in.
So that's all
Is
it
this
takes.
the hockey team?
Nice. Yeah, that's a hockey team.
Oh,
Yep.
That's even better. I love hockey.
They're very popular in Pittsburgh too.
Are they? Yeah, I got this and I loved it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get it. I got it at the thrift store.
Nice.
And it's very comfortable, very warm.
Yeah.
I wear it as much as possible when I'm downstairs. So
Looks good on you.
well, thank you.
Well, what's going on in the Picksburgh, California world?
Well, man, I've been ramping up eBay like crazy lately.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been really focusing on getting that started and working on a few new business ventures I can't really talk about until like the new year. But yeah, things are going well, man. Going to be at the end of this month moving back to Pittsburgh, more like permanent. Like that'll be like my base of operations, but I'm going to be traveling a little bit more, if that makes sense. So I won't be living in California anymore, but I will be like on occasion because I will need to be here for like work and stuff at certain times.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll officially be going back to Pittsburgh, which I'm really looking forward to. I haven't even been back since I left. So.
Oh wow.
Really? So when you say you're ramping up eBay now, are you like as far as like what you're into, your cards, or are you jumping back?
Yeah, a lot of it's like the stuff I'm into, like cards and collectibles and stuff like that. Okay. It's just been really good. Like I've noticed even like a couple like dollar cards and stuff. I've just been like putzing around listing. They drive like people that come to my store, and those people will buy like 20 cards. Yeah, because they're like $1 to $3 cards, and then out of nowhere, I have like a $60 sale off of like some $5 cards.
Right.
I've been seeing a lot of that happening, so I've been trying to like strategically put a little bit of everything in there, and I've noticed like some of the people that like might enter on like a $2 card might end up buying something that's like a $20 card or whatever.
Now, do you use the standard envelope shipping?
Yeah. Anything under $20, I'll use standard envelope.
I wish they would open that up to the decal category.
Oh, yeah, you guys would kill it if you could get that. The beautiful thing about cards is, so you remember my basement. You guys were there for like the heart of like my hoarder like basement. The beautiful thing about cards is this is how I store them. So like literally I could take like, if I was going to be like in California for 2 weeks and I needed my eBay inventory, I just take a carry-on of like some T-Rose, and like if something sells, I have it with me. So it's so much more manageable, like when you're dealing with like such smaller things. Yeah, I would imagine there's probably somebody sitting at home right now thinking like, wow, they've set up a business like this at home. Like how? Like, so like just seeing you guys do it, like they're probably taking notes. Like it's just like the reselling thing. Like you watch a guy like find items that you didn't know were valuable, and it's like, wow, I can do that too, And it's like you guys can do that exact same thing with this platform, just protect your business and show people like how you can literally build something like from nothing at home. That's really cool.
Like when we got started, we had to find channels of people doing the decals. There's one that we watch, Rhinestone World. This guy, he does everything. But, you think, okay, so you cut a decal and you pull it out and you put your transfer tape on it. Pretty easy process, but there's so much more you can do. You can layer different colors. You can, add rhinestones to stuff. You can really bling it out if you want to. So there's definitely, just like there's the whole reseller community, there's a decal community.
How do you scale something like this to like be like huge?
Well, that's where we're at now, because the decals, it's saturated. You know, there's tons of people doing it. So the best way to come out ahead is the key is customer service, to take that extra step and really satisfy your customers and recognize that you appreciate their purchases. And it's advertising. It's a pay to play. You know, you got to market.
Yeah.
You got to pay to get out there and be found against millions of other same exact decals that are out there.
Do you find that since it is kind of pay to play and that it's kind of like a community that you find, do you get like repeat buyers that come back to get like decals time and time again?
We do. We have a ton of repeat buyers on eBay alone. Just this month, we've had 12 repeat buyers this month alone on eBay.
Nice.
And we'll get people that'll come on there and they'll buy a couple decals. And then, you know, we send a business card out with everything, with all our contact information. And then they'll contact us and they'll want custom orders. They'll want bulk orders.
Like, I've never seen this done before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's wild. See, that's what's cool. You know what I mean? Like this is the sausage being made.
Yeah, that's it. And then after she gets, and that one's got a little bit finer detail in it. That's why she's going so slow. There's other ones that she can just, 2 seconds, it's done. And then after that process is done that she's doing there, and she usually goes through and does all those, then you have to put a clear transfer tape, which is a tape that goes over the top of it.
Yeah.
So, and we want to actually do an application video that would show how that works. Because then when you receive the decal, I don't have any up here, but when you receive the decal, when you pull the transfer tape up, the decal is going to come with it, exposing the sticky side, and that's where you apply it. And you varnish it down with like a little squeegee or an ID card or something. And then when you pull the transfer tape off, it's going to stick to your surface, and that's about it.
Nice.
Yeah, but we include instructions with every order. We sell all our decals on Marketplace, and we ship them.
So let me ask you this in regards to like your personal business. Have you guys experimented with like Instagram, Facebook, like those type of ads that would promote your type of product to like people that are interested in that type of thing?
Right. I haven't played with Instagram at all. And I keep telling myself I need to, because I know Instagram is getting bigger and bigger into like the e-commerce market. I do, to the extent of like on Twitter, I do share, our designs in our store with tags and all of that. And 50% of our eBay traffic comes from off the eBay platform.
Nice.
And
awesome.
And that's basically from Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest are the three places that we share.
Glenn's asking if you do one-offs because of the copyrights. I know you had mentioned that you use licensed designs most of the time, but do you also try to do one-offs to get around copyrights and stuff like that?
We'll do one-offs, like custom designs for people.
Mm-hmm.
That we actually design ourselves. What's been going hot for us lately is people are sending us pictures of their animals.
Oh,
and
nice.
We're able to take that picture and turn it into a decal of like their dogs or their cat that really represents their specific animal. You can see their animal in it. With the one-off, we don't like to go dabble in anything. A lot of people are like, oh, well, you can do, say, like a Disney this or that if you change it up to a certain extent. I don't really want. I tried doing that once. I did get a Vero on it. So I was like, I'm not even going to play. Obviously, I wasn't far enough out of the realm.
Would you say it's probably not profitable enough on like a case-by-case basis to like do that? Like, and that's why you try to stick to the stuff that you can back up, like with your licenses and stuff that just like no one can come after you for.
Yeah, I just want to keep it 100% safe.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's real smart.
It's not worth it. And that's just because there has been a couple of decal sellers that I don't like, the guy Rhinestone World, and he talks about it, so I'm not putting his business out there. But when he started, he did some copyright stuff, and he got sued, and he lost a lot of money. And I just don't want to end up in that situation because, the decals, it's not a pay big per item. We're not making a ton of money per decal. It's a quantity game.
For sure.
There's too many other ideas out there. You can take anything and make it a decal. You know, I have a friend that for years, his big thing was like when you would say something stupid or off the wall, right?
Mhm.
He'd be like, high five, no friends, you know?
It happened to me all the time.
Yep. And I made a decal out of it. I just took a high five hand and put those words on it. And
Nice.
so, you know, I watch a lot of like memes that are made for funny phrases and stuff like that. You put them up and they sell.
Makes sense.
And what's nice with the decals is there's no cost to the product until it sells. So we
True.
can make all the designs we want, and if they don't sell, we're not out anything.
And the beautiful thing there is it's just listings to your store, which probably drives more traffic.
Right. And I'll usually let a decal run for about 6 months in the store, where then if this thing's just not getting any traffic, then you know, I'll take it down and find something else to put there.
How many decals do you guys have like on record right now for people to buy?
So right now we have only 390 in our eBay store. And I literally have like 9 on Etsy. And I'm like, well, from just researching lately, Etsy seems to be a better marketplace for it. So I'm actually going to start turning some attention to that. They seem to sell 2 to 3 times more on Etsy than they do on eBay. And if we're doing as well as we're doing on eBay with 390, if I put them 390 on Etsy and it does 2 to 3 times better, that's a hell of a jump.
Are you able to cross post them since theoretically you're making the decals?
Yes.
That's brilliant right there. Then you're hitting both demographics.
Right. And I'm cheap. So right now what I'm trying to figure out is if I want to manually cross post or if I want to get something like Vendu and
join the Vendu crew.
Do that, you know. But I don't want to cross post them like and say, okay, I'm gonna let Vendu throw all 390 of my decals into an Etsy store. Because Etsy works a lot like eBay. You want that consistent activity and that consistent adding, you know, where I could do, okay, I'm going to do 10 a day for 39 days, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you find like if you find like you're going to be like going away for like the weekend or something like that, do you typically like say bust out like 60 some listings and then just release like, you know, like 10 this day, 10 this day, 10 this day, or do you normally just like list what you can when you can?
No, I try to list some new ones every single day.
Nice.
And then anything that doesn't have any sales on it, like any decals that don't have any sales, like we have on the average of 10 to 20 ending every day. Out of those 10 to 20, I might have say 7 that don't have any sales. And then I look at the views it got in the last 30 days and say says it's only got like 6 views in 30 days. Something's wrong with the listing. So I'll end that listing. And I love that. Like we go camping, you know, and I just take my laptop and I have a cup of coffee in the morning, take 20 minutes, end these 7 listings, and then sell similar to them, change the title, move the pictures around, you know, tweak a couple of things and throw them back up. And that's how we keep our activity up when we're gone.
Yeah. When you do it with the decal, are you building like it custom? Since like I would imagine the decals you're listing, there's probably not like 100 other sellers on there that are selling that same exact thing, or are there?
Sometimes there is. Sometimes there's a lot of competition for the same exact decal because 100 other people bought it. When we buy our licensed decals, all we're getting is a SVG. We're just getting one little SVG image.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work. So there is some time because I actually have to go put the SVG in our software and actually make mock-ups. Because people want to see, what is it going to look like on my window? What is it going to look like on my car? What's it going to look like on my laptop?
Yeah.
So I actually have to do like a virtual mock-up. We don't cut any decals until these sell.
That's really smart.
We don't have to cut one and do what she's doing there until the first one sells. We buy our vinyl in a roll. You know, they come in rolls. Just as they sell, then she feeds the rolls. They're like that's That's all our decals. That right there is probably, I couldn't even tell you how many.
So-
I never done the math, but I know our decals to go out the door with shipping is about $1 a decal. That includes envelope, stamp,
Nice.
material. It doesn't cost us anything until it sells. The decal she has there didn't cost us anything for that particular decal because it's a white decal. And we sell a ton of white. You have to have supplies, but you don't have to have inventory, I guess is what I'm saying.
Are you guys competing against, like, say, people in China for this market, or is it basically like you're against U.S. sellers because it's like eBay U.S.? Like, because I don't think like we're competing with like say eBay Canada or eBay like Australia or like any of them as far as like sales go. I could be wrong because I know there is international sales, but is this a market that like you see a lot of like international saturation in, or are you mainly competing against like other people like in the States?
I think our biggest competition is within the States. Now, there's people, you can go and buy that decal. We sell that decal for $5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you can go on eBay and you will find that same decal from somebody that's selling it for $2 with free shipping. But it's China.
Yeah.
Where we come out and they pick our decal over that is for one, they don't want to wait 6 weeks to get it. And they're going to get the personalized customer service. We created a reputation with our quality, you know, and you can see that in our feedback.
So that's really what you try to do to differentiate yourself in like kind of like a crowded market, is just to provide like top-notch quality like customer service to people.
Absolutely. Awesome. You know, super fast shipping. We're on top of it. A lot of decal sellers have a 2 to 3 day handling on their decals. We have 1 day handling guaranteed. So if you order it today, it's going to go out tomorrow guaranteed.
That's awesome.
But if you order it tomorrow by 2:00, most chances are it's going to go out tomorrow still. And that's one of our biggest feedback is the shipping time.
Yeah, and then, you know, I'm not going to send anybody anything that I wouldn't put on my vehicle, on my laptop, on my cup. You know, if I'm not happy with it, I redo it. And I do not send out anything that looks like crap.
So, yeah, our main thing that I think helps us in our decal business is our customer service and quality of product.
Do you advertise made in the U.S.?
I just have been adding that into my listings. And just to give it that branding of made in the USA, I've been adding that just over the last week, actually, because I figured it can't hurt.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be more prone to pick it up if like I saw like, oh, this is, you know, an American business that it was made at.
You know, and our vinyl is made in the U.S. Our supplier makes it right here in the U.S., so it's not even like it's imported vinyl.
Yeah, nice. American made. You got to like that.
Absolutely. And like I say, our vinyl has a 10-year indoor warranty. Like if you're going to put it on a wall or anything, like your indoor, 7-year outdoor against fading, cracking, peeling. If you buy a decal from me and you come to me 5 years from now, say, hey man, this decal's starting to crack. If you're going to remember that I was the one that sold, I made such an impression that you're going to remember I'm the one that sold you this decal 5 years ago. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to replace it.
That's awesome.
And the ROI on it is amazing.
Do you guys get better business like different parts of the year, like based on like holidays or anything like that?
You know, for the last 2 years, I've said to Destiny, like every fall, okay, it's probably going to slow down now with decals because most people put them on cars. I mean, people put them on their laptops, people put them on tumblers. Yeah. But I always felt a majority of the people bought them for their cars. So I'm figuring come winter, we're going to lose half of our clientele because nobody's going to go put a decal on their snow-covered car. But we really haven't experienced a slowdown time. We've had slow weeks, but we've never had slow months. And that was one of my biggest fears was like, oh, summers are going to be slow. But you know, we sell interior decor decals too. Mm-hmm. So people will put them, like I say, they'll put them on tumblers. They'll put them on their toolboxes, in their shop, and their walls in their house. I've
seen people do that before with walls in their house.
and we have a house vinyl that's actually removable that you can put on your wall, and then if you ever want to remove it, you're not going to be able to reuse the decal, but you're going to be able to remove the decal without damaging your wall or your paint.
Do you guys like niche all the way down to decals now, or are you still like offering like shirts and hats and like other printed stuff too?
No, we pretty much just decals. I would like to get back into the shirts. We actually bought better equipment for shirts.
Nice.
Like when we made your first shirt.
Yeah.
We were just getting started. We didn't really know vinyl qualities. We didn't know temperature and pressure on heat presses. I actually scored a really good deal on a commercial heat press that really presses it into the fabric, instead of laying on top of the fabric. It like really presses it into the fabric. I would like to get back into the shirts because to me, it would be more fun to do. What she's doing right there, I'm glad she likes doing it because it would drive me nuts doing it, nonstop every day. It's like, I mean, we've gotten busy. We've had orders of 450 that we got done and put out in 2 days.
Nice.
But it was both of us just going to town at it. And it was like, it would drive me nuts doing it every day. So I'm glad she likes it,
Do you guys plan to scale it like beyond the two of you, like to where you have like external employees, or are you hoping to like mainly just keep it like small and like the way it is, like as far as like it is right now? What's your like, long-term goal?
I would love to scale it. We actually had that. We were talking about that this morning, and I was like, I was telling her, I got to figure out better ways to market. We're doing okay. I don't want to do good. I want to do fantastic.
For sure.
And there's going to become a time where we're going to plateau to where we can only produce so much by ourselves. We're going to have to.
I'm putting the transfer tape on now.
That's what I meant, especially like if it's like you have some days where both of you are like hammering them out and you have that 1 day guaranteed turnaround, like once you get like to a certain point, you might need to end up bringing in some help to produce like a certain number consistently.
Right. Absolutely. And I would have no problems with doing that. I would actually love to get to the point to where I can pay somebody else and employ somebody else. But I don't want to do that till we get to where our limit is, but when we get to that point to where, look, this is all we can produce by ourselves.
Yeah.
I want to be overworked so I can put somebody else to work.
For sure. Absolutely. You're making tons of sales if that's the case. That's a great problem to have.
Exactly. I don't know if decals alone is going to get us there. I would like to get into stickers.
How much harder are those to do?
Stickers are actually easier, but the equipment is, to do a good quality sticker, the equipment is more expensive.
Gotcha.
Because you have to be able to print these stickers, laminate these stickers, and cut these stickers. But people love stickers a lot more because of branding.
Yeah.
Like we have a little bakery shack in town here. It's called Sugar Shack. And I was like, I can do stickers with what we have, but to do them on like any type of big scale, like if you were to say, hey man, I want 1,000 Picksburgh stickers in full color, 3-inch stickers. It's going to take me a while to do it because with the equipment I have, I can only print and cut like 9 at a time.
Gotcha.
So it'd take me a long time, where the machine that's going to be able to spit this out and do it in like an hour costs $10,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So you don't want to go out and spend $10,000 on a machine.
Yeah.
For the guy that's going to come to you and say, hey man, I want 30 stickers.
Yeah.
It's a rough transition where you got to have the clientele to make it worth buying that equipment.
Yeah.
So it's like you want the small people to come to you at first and gradually get bigger so you can make the money to justify buying the equipment.
Is the sticker market more profitable than the decal market?
I think it is. I really do. I think, and I don't believe there's as much competition.
Oh, nice.
Because you need more equipment. There's a little bit more steps involved to make a sticker. For example, I can do it on my regular home printer down here, just my little HP printer, and I print it on sticker paper.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have laminate, regular sheeting laminate, like you would think for laminating shit.
Yeah.
And you have to apply that. Then I got to feed that into the cutter and then actually contour cut around these stickers. So it's a 3-step process. It's easier in the sense, okay, it spits out a paper from the printer. I throw my laminate on, I stick it in a cutter, it cuts it. Done. There's none of all that intricate weeding because it's full color. But it's more steps.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances out. People, I think, that are looking for branding want stickers. They don't want decals.
Yeah.
Like I say, even with the Sugar Shack, I don't think she'd want a bunch of little white decals that say Sugar Shack. Maybe she would. I think she would much rather have a 3-inch sticker with her colored logo on it that she can put on her donut boxes or cake boxes.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you this question for the viewers that are watching that are like intrigued, that would like to potentially start something like this for themselves. Like, what kind of startup capital, like for somebody to do this right, like what type of capital would somebody have like prepared or set aside to be able to have, like, because you obviously you want to have decent equipment so that way you're not putting out like substandard decals or whatever you do. So like, in your opinion, like being that you've done this for a while, like what would you give advice on, like, hey, have this amount of money ready to invest in?
If you're just starting out from scratch, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can go out and you can buy everything you need on Amazon right now in a $350 bundle.
Nice.
Brand new, right from the store, shipped to your door. But you can also, like I say, you can go on Marketplace. I found the same cutters used for as low as $20.
Wow.
And then you have your vinyl costs. There's different ways you can buy your vinyl. Buy them in sheets. You can buy them in rolls. We buy them in rolls because it's cheaper per square foot. And we go through it. We have enough customer base where we burn through it. And your transfer tape. But to do a decal like that, all you need is a cutter. You start out with your little home craft cutter. You can use a Cree cut. You can use a Cameo Silhouette. Any of those work. A Brother cutter.
Mm-hmm.
Your vinyl and your transfer tape. That's all you need just to get started. And then as you're developing sales and making some money, then like we have 4 cutters. We have 4 different cutters. We have 3 12-inch cutters and 1 28-inch cutter.
What's like the biggest cutter that they have?
54 inches, I think, is the biggest that I've seen.
Is that something you want to work up to, or are you pretty satisfied with the size of your cutters?
No, I would like to work up to. Okay, the cutter I'm looking at is a Roland. And what that'll do is that'll print you a full color graphic and then pull it back in and cut it.
Oh, nice.
And that's a 54-inch printer cutter. Mm-hmm. It uses Eco Sullivan ink. So it's like UV resistant. It's not going to fade and all of that. But you're looking at 10 grand, 12 grand.
So what she's doing there is just making sure the transfer tape stays on. Is that right?
Right. Yep. She's just making sure that there's no air pockets in there and that the transfer tape is actually stuck to the decal. So when they go to pull it back, the decal comes with it and not
nice
stays.
Yeah.
I think she's going to show you how it separates here. There. See, so when she pulls the backing off,
yeah,
the decal will stay on there. And then you would do the same thing. You would lay that transfer tape onto the surface you're applying it to, take the squeegee, squish it down so the adhesive from the decal now sticks to the surface you're applying it to.
Okay.
And then you would just pull the transfer tape off. Your decal is going to stay.
Nice.
So
how long did it take Destiny to kind of get the hang of this? Because I know coming into this, she didn't have any experience with this type of work, correct?
Right. Yeah. We had no idea what the hell we were doing. None whatsoever.
I mean, she looks like a professional, like going through here, like whizzing through, like how, like, I mean, obviously you've been doing this for a few years now, but I mean, it's wild to think that somebody that had zero background is, you know, as expert as she appears to be at it. Like, what all did you have to do as far as like training her up and like teaching her how to do this?
Well, I couldn't really train her because I knew nothing too. You know?
Yeah. So is it just you guys just watched a ton of videos and learned as much as you could, or
yeah?
like, what instruction manual, like if any, is there for this line of work?
YouTube. You get the
Yeah.
basic idea from YouTube, and then the rest is trial and error.
Yeah.
You know, YouTube can teach you a lot, but there is a lot that YouTube can't show you. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
And you learn what not to do. You know,
Yeah.
this didn't work out doing it this way. So I could teach you how to do the exact same thing she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to, and you got to adjust through it as your blade wears, you got to cut deeper. You know, you got to look for, you got to know what signs to look for that. Oh, my blade is starting to get a little dull, so I got to run a deeper cut or change my blade.
Yeah.
And that we can't teach you. You just kind of learn it as you go along. Honey, can you tell us like how long it took you before you felt okay, I know what the hell I'm doing?
Yeah, I would love to hear your experience because like
I'm still in that
killing it.
mindset. It's kind of funny. I mean, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's kind of funny that people. You're not the only one who ever said or who has said, you know, oh, you're expert at this. Let me tell you, I still screw up to this day on certain things. But I would say about 3 months into it, I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. But my favorite part about the whole thing, I'm not even going to lie, is the weeding. Weeding it is so relaxing for me. And
is that where you're pulling the pieces off with the little
Yep,
X-Acto knife?
Yep.
Lady Freebird had a really good question. Do you have trade fairs like in your area, and do you attend them? Do you try to promote your business at like any of those type of things? Like I know sometimes even like community like street fairs and stuff like that. I've seen people with this type of business kind of set up and, you know, just kind of promote like, hey, this is what I do. You can buy stuff like on demand. You know, here's like a list of all of the decals we have, or if you have something custom, you can send us a file type thing. Like, have you guys thought of doing that, or have you done that? And if you have, like, what type of success have you seen with that type of?
We haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
We have thought about it. We talked deeply about it. In fact, we ended up we had a pop-up camper that we were renovating.
Mm-hmm.
That was old, and well, we ended up picking up a really good deal on a newer camper. So we have craft fairs. We got tons of like festival type shows, car shows and everything. So we've talked about, we stopped the renovation of the old camper in the middle of it, talking about, well, maybe we should turn this into a mobile decal shop.
That'd be cool.
So we can attend even flea markets, you know.
Yeah.
We can attend flea markets. We can go to car shows. We're right here by the Dells, so there's always festivals and stuff going on. And yeah, that's one of the things we're looking into getting into in spring.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. We need to get out there where we can do on the spot custom work. So I don't know. Like I say, it's been going good. It pays the bills. It gives us a little extra money, but it's
Yeah.
time now to actually start thinking. We got it pretty mastered as far as the process. Now it's trying to focus on expanding the clientele
Yeah,
and
for sure.
pulling more business.
Has there been one design that's been like kind of like head and shoulders above the rest as far as like sales, or is it just kind of like random what sells when?
It seems to go in phases. Like I'm gonna bring up I think our all-time hot seller. I'll tell you what that decal is. And I believe it's a scorpion unless that changed. Right here, I will show you this has been our all-time hot selling decal.
Oh, nice.
Why? I cannot tell you. We sell it in a left and right version. We do have a guy that comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's got a shop. I wish he would reach out to me personally, because like I say, we send contact information with every order, and I wish he'd reach out because we could work out a deal because he buys so much from us. I'd be happy to give him a quantity discount if he just purchased more at a crack. But that's our hot selling decal. Why a scorpion is the hottest selling decal, I have no idea.
That's cool though. Just a random scorpion is making
Right.
me.
We'll see, but that's what I'm going to work on through the cold months here now, is upping my marketing game and focusing on expanding into a broader audience. Because like I say, with the decals, I admit it's a saturated market. There's a ton of people doing it. Our customer service can bring us back repeat customers, but I need to recruit new customers. So, but I appreciate you coming in and hanging out, man. That was cool.
Anytime. I always like catching up with you too. So, don't be strangers. Let's connect more often.
Yeah, no doubt. And I appreciate you spending the amount of time you did, because I know you got company.
Yeah, no worries.
So I don't want you to neglect your company. I took up too much of your time now. But all right, we're gonna get out of here.
Much love.
Hey, guys.
Everybody take care. Thanks for joining us. And we'll be back doing more.
I'm from the city.